Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone who rule well and labor in this word and doctrine. This video is going to be about who really is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And as many scriptures, really goes into the word devil. The word devil, in terms of the English word devil, you're only going to see it in the New Testament, so-called. You're going to see it. You're gonna see it in English the word devil. You're going to see it in the so-called Testament. You're going to see it in scenarios that might be a little bit confusing for some, because of course the scriptures is full of dark sayings. But through the Spirit, I'm going to go through quite a lot of scriptures today. Other one, I plan to make this a very long video. I'm going to start with this one because this is the one I figured would be best to start with. Revelation 20 and 2. Let's start one. Revelation 21. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And for those that don't know, the bottomless pit is referring to Europe. Because a pit goes into if you get the word as well. A pit goes into literally a pit, the ground and whatnot. This word there is abusos. Abusos, like when they say the abyss, right? It's bottomless, unbound. The abyss is the pit. Okay? This is the immeasurable depth. It's because, in other words, it's obviously not literally referring to a pit that has no end. But it's called the bottomless pit Europe because it's very scarce of actual resources, natural resources and whatnot. It's not abundant and fruitful, this land. Okay. Now, again, this is bottomless. It's translated to bottomless pit, translated to deep twice. It's bottomless pit 5 times, deep twice, and bottomless twice. And read it again. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. Now, the chain, we're going to go into a little bit here now. It's going to be for bounding, okay, for binding down. But let's see who's going to get bound, all right? Verse 2, and he laid hold on the dragon. Okay, the word there is going to be drakon, which I'll show you. Drakon, which means a dragon, a great serpent, named for Satan. Okay, and we're going to get those words too, because it says, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. So Satan was bound for 1,000 years. And this has already happened. Okay, this has already happened. This isn't going to happen sometime in the future. At least this prophecy isn't. The devil will be bound. Satan, what we're going to go into. All right. And spoiler alert, is talking about Esau, Edom. Okay, the so-called white man. And when it says that old serpent, go into them words there. In fact, reverse. I hate when you have to do that. We'll go here. This word there, archeos, which reminds me of some archaic. And it goes, that has been from the beginning, original, primal, old, ancient, right? Of men, things, times, and conditions. Now, again, in this situation is talking about of men, all right? That old serpent, literally, because the serpent was where? It was in the garden, man. Now, the serpent wasn't literally a talking snake, okay? Because snakes don't talk. Doesn't mean that the Most High cannot make a snake talk. Of course he can. So the Spirit can do anything. Yes, of course. In fact, it's like we read numbers, which of course I'm not going to get. I'm just going to go. You can go into how there was one incident when the donkey was talking, right? Because the Lord had caused that to happen. All right, through His Spirit. That's, the Lord can do everything. But in the context in Genesis, that serpent was an actual man. Okay. Now I'm going to go there. Genesis 3. I'm going to get straight to the point. Oh, it's 3 and 1. Forgive me. Genesis 3 and 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. Now that's the point, right? The serpent was a man who was subtle. Let's go into that word subtle. Oh, excuse me, subtle. This word for subtle is irawam, which means subtle, shrewd, crafty, sly, sensible, crafty, shrewd, sensible, prudent. It's translated to prudent 8 times, okay? Because in the sense of the it's like prudence that's not prudence, Because, it's like, they have wisdom. It's not real wisdom. It's fake wisdom. They're wise to do evil, which isn't really them being wise. It's their own kind of way. They're being sensible according to their ways. They're not going to just tell you they're the devil. They're going to be sensible as the devil, okay? Now it says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which Yahweh power had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, hath the Most High said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? See how, he's coming all subtle. The Most High had said that? And, when he goes into that word, the word of God there, Elohim, I believe, it will say in all capitals again, Yahweh. This is Elohim. Which Yahweh Elohim. Elohim goes into God, he, them, because he has ministering angels, which are also gods, okay? And then now, when he's speaking, being all subtle, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest ye die. And that is talking about philosophies and ideologies that's going off, all right? Those are corruptible fruits, okay? And we are likened unto trees, okay? We're likened unto trees, and whether we have corruptible fruit or incorruptible fruit, all right, we're still likened unto trees. Okay, as it reads in Matthew 7, I'll get it, I might as well get it. As many scriptures as I can for today. Matthew 7 and 16 says, ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. There you are. So in other words, it's supposed to avoid the corrupt trees with the corrupt fruit. And now, it says again, I'll read it again, it says, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High hath said, you shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest you die. And that's actually what the woman had said. Okay, and this woman again is Eve, I believe it's Hawa in Hebrew, Ibariath. Now it says, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Being all subtle, trying to be all soft, and notice who the serpent's going to. He's going to the woman. Okay? He was deceiving the woman because he knew he could do that, man. For the Most High doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. See, he's coming in, letting them know that you can be as gods. You're gonna know good and evil. So you can know everything, basically, have all this knowledge. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food and that it was pleasant to the eyes, see, she got deceived. That's the woman, and a tree to be desired to make one wise. She took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. In other words, she deceived him with the doctrine and the philosophies, man. Deceived him to eat all the fruit. Okay, and we gotta look at this, man, and really learn from it. This is what happened in the very beginning. This is Genesis chapter 3, man. All right, so Adam was deceived by the woman, right? So how much more, do we have to watch out in these last days right now, man? When everything's just with wickedness just flooding the whole fucking place, man. All right, be on watch. And that's why that's what the scripture's for, man. That's all for our learning at the end of the day. This is verse 7. And the eyes of them were both open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. Now, this right here is them basically knowing that they didn't have any covering, all right, because they were sinning, all right. Their shame was known, and they tried to then do things that was like when it's saying sew fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. In other words, they're trying to make a covering, but they weren't doing it according to the right doctrine. Okay, now we're going to stop there because this video isn't talking about that necessarily. But there you go. We can see that Revelation 20 is referring to the old serpent. Literally. So he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent. So, in other words, the serpent, the man is, oh wow, it's here again. So in other words, according to the scriptures, it deals with reincarnation. All right, the scriptures deal with reincarnation. The Heavenly Father, specifically, to be more precise and concise, deals with reincarnation. That's how he is. That's how his creation is in order. That's the order of his creation. Sorry, I couldn't word it very well. But here we are, man. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil. Let's get that word devil right there, because now we're getting closer. We're understanding that the word devil, isn't as simple. Because when you go into this world and you just think of devil, you think of a weird image. Okay, you think of a weird image of a red dude with horns, and really, it's interesting how the color is red anyway, And now this word right here, diabolos, diabolos means prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely. Basically, a slanderer, a deceiver, man. A calumniator, I'm not even sure what that word means. See if I can no, I'll just copy actually real quick. Like a calumniator, one who falsely and knowingly accuses another of anything disgraceful or maliciously propagates false reports. Okay, there you are. So basically, it's simply a false accuser. All right. And what is he known as? He's known as the accuser of our brethren. And now it says, applied to a man who, by opposing the cause of the Most High, may be said to act the power of the devil or to side with him. Now, the things like some things like this you're gonna see, and it's gonna be because there's a lot of like it's not like anything here was horrendous. Just the way it's worded is a bit like because for example, applied to a man, that's true, who by opposing the cause of the Most High, okay, well he is indeed against the Most High, may be said to act the part of the devil, right, the deceiver, or to side with him. It's because there is indeed a spiritual devil. Okay, there's spirits that are deceiving spirits. Okay, there are spirits that are adverse to holiness. Okay, because the Lord has set them up to do that, to play that part. The Lord is in control of everything. So, and we're gonna see more of that in the scriptures. Don't worry. Again, I'm planning to make this a very long video. It might not be that long, so don't worry. But I plan to get many scriptures no matter what, maybe comprehending much in a very short time. Revelation 20:2. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil, and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. And Satan. What does Satan mean? Let's get this word Satan. This word Satan, or Satanas in Greek. Is it? Yeah, Satanas. Almost got to be confused then. Adversary, right? Someone who's adverse. One who opposes another in purpose or act. He is the opposite of the Most High. All right, in his purpose, right? Ultimately, he's doing what the Lord has made. And this here, all right, again, is that serpent, right? And all right, that the old serpent that's come back, that is indeed Esau Edom, man. Okay. All right, Esau is the fucking devil, man. He is a deceiver. He's a liar. He's a slanderer, and he's adverse to holiness, to simply put it. Adverse to the, to the elect. Excuse me. Okay, adverse to the Most High. Yahweh has used his left-hand spirit, all right, to be the power, ultimately the power and the guider of the wicked Edomites, man. It says, one who opposes another in purpose or act, the name given to the prince of evil spirits, the inveterate adversary of the Most High and the Hamashiach. Okay, now that's because ultimately, there is Satan, and there is a Satan, adversary spirit in the heavens. So I just have to pause the recording. So again, all right, there is a Satan in the heavens, and it says, and it goes into he incites apostasy from God and to sin. Apostasy, right? So when you go into I can get that word. All right, to apostasy, renunciation, abandonment, or neglect of established religion, right? So basically, when it goes into late Latin apostasia, from the later Greek apostasia, for earlier apostasis, revolt, defection, right? To revolt against, basically a standing off, literally a standing off. So basically, to go away from, basically, right? So we'll go back there again. When it says he incites, or he basically he causes, he basically causes apostasy from the Most High into sin. Now, yeah, that's he deceives you. He's a deceiver. That's the whole point. That's what he does. That he's the spiritual demon Satan, right? That's the power that they serve ultimately. Okay, that's the spirit that they serve. There's a lot here. Really, I don't even need to go into all that. We get the point now. Now again, he laid hold on the dragon, the old serpent, which is the devil, all right, and Satan. That is indeed Esau, man, and bound him 1,000 years. Now remember, he's talking about the key of the bottomless pit. Right, so that's why in verse 3 it says, and cast him, Satan, into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him. Because for 1,000 years, Esau Edom was indeed in chains. All right, he was the lowest. He was a slave, man. When we go into that word, it goes into the Slavs, man. He was the so-called white people up in Europe, which aren't really white. They're red, red devils. When they were up in Europe, they were slaves, man. They were servants. They were the lower class dudes, man. Being the servants for the Israelites, okay? Now, when it says, and cast him into the bottomless pit, again, Europe, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and that that's we're in that we're past that the time of the 1,000 years being fulfilled, right? It's been fulfilled already. And after that, you must be loosed a little season. Now, there's something called a Renaissance, which means the rebirth. That was the rebirth of Esau's kingdom. That was the rebirth of him ruling over in Europe again. That's why when you go into the scriptures about Rome, Rome had a wound, okay, a wound that was healed because eventually Esau came out of slavery and ruled over again. And we're in that season to this day. All right. Till of course Yahushua comes back and the destruction of Babylon the Great and this world order. And then the true new world order is actually established on earth, which is the order of Yahushua and the elect ruling over the other nations, man. And then of course all Israel shall come back through the loins of the Israelites. Because again, the Most High does a reincarnation, man. Right? Because the same old serpent, he's him and his people are about today, man. Now, that's why when you go into the scriptures, Revelation 2:10, it says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison." Right? The deceiver, the slanderer, Esau, Edom, shall cast some of you into prison. Ye may be tried. The faith of the elect shall be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days, go into a complete amount of time. Okay, 10 represents completion. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. And of course, that is for the elect. So again, this is literally talking about a human being, which is a devil, which is a deceiver. Okay, and yeah, again, there is a spiritual deceiver. Okay, there is a spirit deceiver, that is deceiving and that is indeed using Esau as his little minions, man. Okay, because again, the wicked are the Lord's sword. Psalm 17, verse 13. There you go. I might as well go further up, man. Yeah, might as well start 11. Psalm 17:11. They have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth, like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. And, again, that's what they like. That lion, that lurking, being subtle, all right, being slowly trying to, just hide himself, creep up, get the legs ready, then pounce on you, man. That's what he is like, man. 13. Oh, arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. All right, so the wicked is the sword of Yahweh. Yahweh uses the wicked, all right, to create, destruction and whatnot. So, even with spirits, man, I believe if we get I'm not sure where it is actually. Let me actually type this in. Lying spirit. Ooh, I was actually gonna guess something like that too. There you go. So, start further up though. Start verse 18. Might as well start verse 19. Get straight to the point. 1 Kings 22:19. He said, "Hear thou therefore the word of Yahweh. I saw Yahweh sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left." All right, because they have angels. He has angels on the right hand. All right, the right hand spirits, and then on the left, the left hand spirits. Right, going into those spirits that do minister unto righteousness, and those are left that he uses for wickedness. And Yahweh said, "Who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead?" And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. And there came forth a spirit and stood before Yahweh and said, "I will persuade him." And Yahweh said unto him, "Wherewith?" And he said, "I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets." And he said, "Thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so." There you go. So a spirit came and was being what? A lying spirit. Look at that word, man. The word there for lying, and the word for spirit is rocha, slachia. Rocha, okay? Rocha means spirit. It's like in the introduction of our videos, we give no praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, and then Bahasham, Rocha Kodash, going to spirit, Holy Spirit, as I would say, in the Hebrew would be spirit, holy. All right. So this word lying, shakwar means lie, deception, disappointment, falsehood. Deception, what deceives or disappoints or betrays one. Deceit, fraud, wrong. Okay, you get the point. So again, basically goes into the same thing. All right. So he's being what a spirit. Basically, he's being a spirit as a devil. How will you say it? So again, now therefore, behold, Yahweh hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and Yahweh hath spoken evil concerning thee. So again, and there was a time again when King David. Do you remember this one? Ooh, I reckon it. Let me see if I can remember. Time starts to try to remember. It might be 1 Samuel 17, no? Or maybe just before. Maybe just before, actually. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. There you go. That's what I meant to do. Bear with me. Alright, here it is. 1 Samuel 16 and 14. But the spirit of Yahweh departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from Yahweh troubled him. You see, Yahweh is in control of the good and the bad, man. And Saul's servant said unto him, Behold now, an evil spirit from the Most High troubleth thee. Let our Lord now command thy servants which are before thee to seek out a man who is a cunning player on a harp. And it shall come to pass when the evil spirit from the Most High is upon thee, that he shall play with his hand, and thou shalt be well. And Saul said unto his servants, Provide me now a man that can play well, and bring him to me. Then answered one of the servants and said, Behold, I have seen a son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite, that is cunning in playing, and a mighty valiant man, and a man of war, and prudent in matters, and a comely person, and Yahweh is with him. Wherefore Saul sent messengers unto Jesse, and said, Send me David thy son, which is with the sheep. And Jesse took an ass laden with bread, and a bottle of wine, and a kid, and sent them by David his son unto Saul. And David came to Saul, and stood before him, and he loved him greatly, and he became his armor bearer. And Saul sent to Jesse, saying, Let David, I pray thee, stand before me, for he hath found favor in my sight. And it came to pass, when the evil spirit from the Most High was upon Saul, that David took a harp and played with his hand. So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him. Wow, man. That's a very beautiful and very straight to the point, showing you very clearly, man, that Yahweh had brought an evil spirit. Yahweh is he's in charge of everything. He's the Most High in power and authority and whatnot. So of course everything will be his will. Okay, let's get back to let me just pause it. So this is Revelation 12 and 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. Now, remember, laid hold on what? The dragon? Okay, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, which again is Esau Edom. Now, again, Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. Now, this Michael isn't fighting against no spiritual, demons here. All right, but again, when it goes into the dragon, in particular, it's let me just clarify. Well, yeah, the dragon represents Esau anyway. Put it plain Jane. And his empire is the Romans, and the Romans sometimes we refer to him as the dragon, but it's still really E in his empire, his kingdom and whatnot. Okay, that red dragon in this chapter. Let me just go to it. It's Revelation 12. Yeah, there you go. Revelation 12 and 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns. Oh, 7 heads and 10 horns again, because we go into Revelation 13, which is the next chapter. But if you also go into Daniel 7, it tells you again that the fourth beast had 10 horns. Okay, the 7 heads and 10 horns referring to NATO and the EU, and 7 crowns upon his head. And this is again, the red dragon represents Esau in general anyway. Okay, and Esau and his kingdom did indeed have 7 heads. Does indeed, I say, have 7 heads and 10 horns, because ultimately that's all an expansion of Rome. Okay, and Esau, his seed is spread amongst. All right, the 7 heads and 10 horns is not different nations and whatnot necessarily. Now we go to of course within these nations there'll be other nations, but the rulers are Edom, man. Let me get straight to the point. Yeah, 7. Now it says, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. And the word angels goes into angelos is the Greek word, which means messengers. Mala'ach in Hebrew, right? So his messengers, people who actually who are how to explain it, who are in league with E basically, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, the old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. There you go. And that's again talking about the fleshly individuals who were cast out. All right, because the spirits are in the heavens, doing the Lord's will. That they're really in order, really. They're doing whatever Yahweh commands them to do. There's that scripture in Psalm 103. Where we at? I always forget. Where is that? Forgive me. There you go. I believe it's here. Yeah, here you go. Psalm 103 and 20. It says, Bless Yahweh, ye his angels, that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearkening unto the voice of his word. All right. Now back again. I believe. Actually, let me check real quick. I don't think we need any more. Yeah, we might as well continue. I should go verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven. Oh yeah, straight to verse 12. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren. There you go. Once again, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. Okay. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. And that's how ultimately the elect is going to overcome all the deception of the wicked, man. Is by, and all the persecution and all the tribulation that the elect will go through. As we're of that number. It's going to be through the blood of the Lamb, the blood of Yahweh Shai, and by the word of that testimony. And what is that testimony? Revelation 19:10. We'll go back. Revelation 19 and 10. And I fell at his feet I'll go up. Start verse 7, Revelation 19 and 7. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife hath made herself ready. Going into, the elect going to be like, again, it's known as the marriage supper of the Lamb, right? Because ultimately, Yahweh Shai is going to take his people and be like a husbandman, okay? That's why it's likened unto, the bridegroom. He's likened unto the bridegroom many times, right? Because the church is like his wife, right? The bride of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. And again, his wife hath made herself ready, because the elect are a watchman, all right? It says, and to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white, for the fine linen is the righteousness of saints. All right. And he saith unto me, and goes into, white was white, going to, Laban in Hebrew, goes into that being clean. Get clean and white. And he saith unto me, right, blessed are they which are called into the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he saith unto me, these are the true sayings of the Most High. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see that do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. All right. So again, if you have that testimony, you have the spirit of prophecy, man. You're able to break down what the scriptures go into. And back to Revelation 12, and let's go again to verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. Just like we read in Revelation 2, be faithful unto death and receive the crown of life, roughly paraphrasing. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So that's E, man. He knows, man. He knows that this shit ain't gonna last forever. He knows this shit's popping, man. He's trying to establish this new world order, but he's trying to do his thing, for when all shit fucking all manner of tribulation occurs, for all the financial crisis and all the famine and the wars. He's doing his things. He's gonna come down with great wrath. How is he gonna do that? He's gonna use his martial law troops. Okay. All right. When their idol they used to they really in the spirit. They basically move in that same way. The idol of Rome that was known as their power of war, which is no true power, no true God. All right, but their god of war was Mars, and that's what martial goes into, pertaining to the Roman idol Mars. All right, they're going to establish that martial law, That's why that's how they're gonna come with that wrath. All right, persecuting with the sword, man, which is their blessing. And people are gonna know, man. People are gonna know that the so-called white man is nothing but a fucking devil, man. Made you think that he was your friend, he was doing everything for you, looking out for you, but really he was a perverse, wicked, violent man. Yeah, Slacky, I just had to stop the recording. All right, so we're gonna go. This is John 8:42. Yahushua said unto them, if the Most High were your father, you would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from the Most High, neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why do ye not understand my speech, even because ye cannot hear my word? Ye are of your father the devil, right? And the lust of your father you will do. Now again, these were Israelites, okay? But their father was the deceiver, the devil, right? Because ultimately they were being of the deceiver. They were being like, Cain, right? But of course, they didn't come from that lineage. The year of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you will do, because they were of the devil, man. Now he was a murderer from the beginning, yes, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh the lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And that's again because the devil goes into being deceiver, slanderer, speaking lies. Now, of course, there are instances when it says devil, it's referring to a spiritual devil, as I was referring to, or I believe I made some mention. Let me actually go into the. There you go. This is Luke 4:1, and Yahushua, being full of the Holy Spirit, returned from Jordan and was led by the Spirit into the wilderness, being 40 days tempted of the devil. And in those days he did eat nothing, and when they were ended, he afterward hungered. And the devil said unto him, and this is again a spirit, if thou be the Son of the Most High, command this stone that it be made bread. And Yahushua answered him, saying, it is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of the Most High. Which Deuteronomy 8:3, I believe. And the devil taking him up into a high mountain, shewed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will, I give it. If thou therefore will worship me, all shall be thine. Now, again, when you read it, it goes again. It says, "And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me." There you go. And to whomsoever I will give it. Because ultimately, it's all through Yahweh that spiritual demon Satan, the devil, can even have power in some way or another, and has there's other ministering spirits for this purpose of deceiving and lying spirits, spirits that make people fall ill. This is all Yahweh is giving them this power, man. Just like even this world itself, man. The reason why Esau is actually ruling this earth is because the Lord gave it to him. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right. So again, the devil, in terms of the flesh, Esau is ruling because the earth was given to him. It was given to the hand of the wicked, right? And Esau is the wicked one. When the scriptures go into the wicked one, it's referring to Esau, man. Now, when we go back to Luke 4, right now he's tempting the devil, the spiritual devil is tempting Yahushua, okay, by saying, if you basically worship him, you'll get all this power, man. I believe it's wherever I was. There you go. Right. And it says, if thou therefore will worship me, all shall be thine. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, get thee behind me, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. And he brought him to Jerusalem, and set him on a pinnacle of the temple, and said unto him, if thou be the Son of the Most High, cast thyself down from hence. For it is written, he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee. That's in Psalm 91. And in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. So was that. And Yahushua answering and said unto him, it is said, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power. So he keeps combating the spiritual devil with scriptures, man. And Yahushua is the scriptures. He is the whole role, man. He is the word of the Most High. And when the devil had ended all the temptation, he departed from him for a season. That was indeed referring to spirit. So of course there's instances, when it's referring to the devil being a spirit. But it's still, this it's still doing, the will of the Heavenly Father, man. Everything is in the Lord's. Everything is the Lord's will, man. Job 1. Right? When you go into Job, right? When you go into Job, verse 7, and Yahweh said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And Yahweh said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job? That there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth the Most High and escheweth evil. Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, Job feared the Most High for naught? Hast not thou made a hedge about him, and made his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands. Again, in other words, I should say Satan is he's saying, the reason why he's basically worshiping you and being holy is because you're giving him so much. You give him such a blessed life. Of course he is. You give him so much. What is he going to turn against you? How is he going to turn against you? It says, and his substance is increased in the land. All right, he's got abundance, man, abundance of wealth. Now it says, but put forth thine hand now and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. That's what spiritual demons saying the same. And Yahweh said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of Yahweh. So look at that, man. Yahweh said unto Satan, hey, he's now basically, you got the power now to do what you want. Only again, it says, only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So, this is basically very clear, man. And you ain't gonna learn this up in, Pastor Porkchop's church. Okay, you're not gonna learn that from fucking vocab. Hey, man. Hey, maybe vocab. I doubt it. Fucking just don't think you will, because it's vocab. Ultimately, you just ain't gonna learn the truth and the true understanding of Satan from Satan. Okay, the people up in there, they are Satan, man. They are the adversary. Okay, Shatan. Let's go look. Hey, let's look at this Hebrew word where it says Satan. Right, Shatan. Adversary, one who withstands. Adversary in general, personal or national. Superhuman adversary, Satan. All right, so basically, very weird choices, certain things there. Adversary is what it means, man. One who withstands. All right, so when oh wait, hold on. From the word Shatan, to be or act as an adversary. There you go. Resist, to oppose. Again, opposes. There you go. He opposes everything that is holy. Who does that? That's E, man. As E saw the wicked one. And when the scriptures go into that man of sin, let's get that. Notice the choice of words that is used. Now this is 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that is us being scattered, losing that heritage, identity, our law, statutes, and commandments, being departed from our true identity, and our land. That man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, and he is being revealed right now, through his servants, the prophets, who opposes, and now this person, the son of perdition, who opposes, exalted himself above all that is called the Most High. There you go, or that is worshipped, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High, which is, of course, another lie, a big lie. He's a big time liar, trying to make himself seem like he is the top. He's the true God that everyone needs to worship. And the word God goes into a judge, a power, a ruler, and really, of this, he is the God of this world, man. That's 2 Corinthians 4 and 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, that the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them. You see, that's what he set out to do, man. He's there to not basically to just deceive, as the word devil basically goes into, being a slanderer, or a deceiver. All right, he's there. He's ruling this world with basically darkness rather than light, man. And they consider him to be of the light in this world. Like because he's deceived to believe that he's there for them, right? He's actually looking out for the people he rules over. But he's gonna come down with great wrath. He's gonna show his horns for sure, man. Okay. This is Matthew 9:32. As they went out, behold, they brought to him a dumb man possessed with the devil. And the devil was cast out. The dumb spake, and the multitudes marveled, saying, it was never so seen in Yasharallah. Right, look, man. So, the Yahushua actually basically, he casted out devils, man. All right, so there was spiritual, deceiving spirits upon people that the Lord brought forth, and Yahushua was, he was causing them to depart. Simply put, and man, in these last days, we see, we'll see more miracles like such of people, holy men, healing, casting out wicked spirits, and all sorts, man. Many works, right? And ultimately, there's going to be a heavy spirit of deception upon this earth while the devil's ruling until Yahushua comes back. Okay, that's the Lord's will, man, as everything is. So I'm gonna end it here. This video obviously wasn't as long as I thought it was gonna be, which is ultimately, is ultimately good and is what it is. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. And I don't want to say this video wasn't indeed edifying. So I hope this makes things more clear, man. The devil, deceiver, is basically Eve, and he is a servant of the spiritual demon Satan, also known as the devil, the deceiving adversary. Okay, so once again, I hope this video was edifying. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rocha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone who rule well and labor in this word and doctrine. Shalom wa barakat laha bachiyar hagawiya yasharala, meaning peace and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel. Wath lebabar. Shalom.